Welcome, Kaiju fans, your friendly neighborhood film leech here, and today we're talking about the ultimate in fighting technology, Robot 1, Garuda. Garuda is an advanced supersonic attack jet created by the G-Force to defend Japan against Godzilla, and is also the largest JSDF aircraft in the entire Heisei Godzilla series. Most Heisei aircraft follow a sleek, futuristic design. However, Garuda's design is particularly unique. Garuda possesses 4 rocket boosters, 4 stabilizing fins, and a pointed cockpit, following a more classic fighter jet look. However, Garuda's most distinguished feature is its twin primary beam cannons, mounted at the front of the ship, and its twin secondary cannons mounted on either side of the cockpit. In the year 1992, after Godzilla's battle with Mecha King Ghidorah, the Japanese government was becoming increasingly concerned about the threat Godzilla posed to Japan. To deal with the threat, G-Force salvaged the remains of Mecha King Ghidorah in order to study its advanced technology. G-Force then called on the help of brilliant scientists from all over the world to design a machine to fight Godzilla. The result was Garuda. In 1992, after studying the remains of Mecha King Ghidorah, G-Force constructed Garuda in order to deal with the threat of Godzilla. However, Garuda's power was far too limited to deal with Godzilla. Garuda was quickly rendered obsolete once Mechagodzilla was constructed. 2 years later, Mechagodzilla was dispatched for the first time to fight Godzilla, but was no match, forcing G-Force to come up with a new attack plan. Meanwhile, disgraced pilot Kazuma Aoki convinced one of G-Force's top scientists to increase Garuda's combat power, even putting forth the idea of modifying it to combine with Mechagodzilla. This idea was readily accepted by G-Force, so when the container carrying Baby Godzilla and scientist Azusa Goji was snatched by Fire Rodan, Garuda was dispatched along with Mechagodzilla to retrieve the container. Garuda soon arrived in Tokyo, and with the help of Mechagodzilla, managed to lure Fire Rodan away from the container. Garuda was able to hold its own against Fire Rodan, being able to easily outmaneuver the giant monster. However, Fire Rodan managed to catch up to the ship and rammed it once, throwing Garuda off balance. Fire Rodan rammed the ship a second time, sending Garuda flying into a nearby building, leaving Mechagodzilla to deal with Fire Rodan. Mechagodzilla was easily able to fight off the giant monster as Kazuma attempted to get Garuda skyworthy again. Mechagodzilla fired its plasma grenade weapon, hurling Rodan backwards. With their enemy seemingly defeated, G-Force sent out a crew to rescue Azusa and Baby. However, Godzilla soon arrived to retrieve Baby Godzilla. Mechagodzilla was sent after Godzilla and the two clashed briefly. However, Mechagodzilla's systems began to overheat because of the previous battle. As a result, Godzilla quickly overpowered Mechagodzilla, grabbing the mech by its head and hurling it into a nearby building. Mechagodzilla's crew sent out a frantic distress call, and luckily Kazuma managed to get Garuda skyworthy again. Garuda rejoined the battle just in time to distract Godzilla. This distraction allowed Mechagodzilla to get back to its feet. Garuda combined with Mechagodzilla to form Super Mechagodzilla, and together they managed to gain the upper hand against Godzilla. Super Mechagodzilla fired its shock anchor harpoons into Godzilla, subsequently paralyzing the King of the Monsters. With Godzilla seemingly defeated, Kazuma flew down in a Pteranodon robot to help rescue Azusa and Baby. However, Fire Rodan was not dead, and managed to get itself back into the air. Fire Rodan flew overhead where Super Mechagodzilla blasted it with its Mega Buster. Fire Rodan fell to the ground where it landed on top of Godzilla. Wounded and dying, Fire Rodan imparted his life force onto Godzilla. This energy supercharged the King of the Monsters, allowing the monster to reform his destroyed second brain. Godzilla got back to his feet, emitting powerful nuclear pulses as he let out an enraged roar. These nuclear pulses were so hot, they caused Garuda's synthetic diamond armor to melt. Godzilla fired its red spiral ray at Super Mechagodzilla. The mech tried desperately to fight back, but was ultimately unable to stand against the heat being given off by Godzilla. Godzilla blasted Super Mechagodzilla with his red spiral ray, knocking the mech backwards. Unable to take the heat from Godzilla's red spiral ray, Garuda subsequently exploded, along with Mechagodzilla. Twin primary beam cannons. Garuda's signature weapons are the twin particle beams it fires from its primary beam cannons, located at the front of the ship. Alone, these beams appear to have little effect on Godzilla, but their power is seemingly increased when combined with Mechagodzilla's already impressive arsenal. Twin secondary beam cannons. As well as its primary, Garuda has twin secondary cannons located behind its primaries. While these are only ever seen used in simulation, they appear less powerful than the primaries. Synthetic diamond armor. Garuda's armor plating is coated with synthetic diamond. This armor is capable of absorbing Godzilla's atomic ray as well as Fire Rodan's. Flight. Garuda is capable of flight at speeds of up to Mach 3 and is seen being able to easily outmaneuver Fire Rodan. It was also able to substantially increase Mechagodzilla's speed once the two combined. Combination with Mechagodzilla. Garuda is capable of attaching itself to Mechagodzilla's back to form Super Mechagodzilla. This union substantially increases Mechagodzilla's speed and maneuverability, as well as increasing Garuda's combat power. Weaknesses. Garuda's biggest weakness seems to be its inability to handle extreme temperatures. This is demonstrated when Godzilla begins using the red spiral ray, as Garuda's armor quickly begins to melt along with Mechagodzilla. In addition, Garuda's armor doesn't do well against physical blows, as it only takes 2 rams from Fire Rodan to send the ship careening into a nearby building. Earlier drafts for Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2 depict Garuda as being its own bird-like mech. However, this idea was soon discarded, possibly due to budget restrictions, in favor of more traditional ship-like designs. Garuda was never intended to combine with Mechagodzilla. Most earlier drafts for the film depict Garuda as being its own separate entity, with no connection to Mechagodzilla. The idea was only suggested once the idea for Union Mechagodzilla was discarded. Earlier drafts for Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2 also sport a slightly different ending to the one that appeared in the final film. In earlier versions, Rodan would be killed off immediately by Mechagodzilla in their final confrontation, and Garuda would be critically damaged in its battle with Godzilla. Later on, while Godzilla lay there paralyzed, Garuda's nuclear reactor exploded, releasing massive amounts of radiation. This radiation is ultimately what allowed Godzilla to reform his destroyed second brain. However, this ending was soon changed to have Fire Rodan impart his energy onto Godzilla to revive him, in keeping with the whole life versus artificial life theme of the movie. That's all we have for Garuda. As for the mech we all know and love, whoa! Slow down, we gotta save something for the next episode. This is your friendly neighborhood film leech, signing off.